Okay, hopefully we're alive. Blow up some party balloons. That's everything. Right, we'll deal with these jobs in a bit. For now, I'll just put them aside. Tackle this iPad first. Alright. The problem with this iPad, I don't know which model this one is, as in I don't know whether it's 5th, 6th or 7th gen. Let's see, 2602. That's actually pretty current. I think that might be 9th gen. iPad A2602. Edboss, Andrew. And it is a 9th gen. Alright, so we got a guess there. That was lucky. Basically, the problem we've got is when we try to charge it, it does seem to take power, but it doesn't actually ever turn on. So, where is my USB-C meter? Not showing up. There we go. Yeah, so it sits there at a very steady sort of output, and it does seem to warm up over time in a certain area. So we might, if we're lucky, have a board level short that is going to be relatively easy to find. Ha ha ha. Can only hope and dream. Hector, Craig. Alright, before this is obviously not a broken screen, so we're going to try our best not to break it. Particularly being a 9th gen. I mean, I do have stock of 9th gen ones, but I still prefer not to break what I don't have to break. There are some differences between the 9th and the 7th and the 8th, mostly pertaining to the aperture size of some of their sensors. So we may have to take this a little slower than we normally do when it comes to separating out these. It's interesting, it's taken one hit down here. You can see the impact mark. Other than that, it's pristine. Catherine? Jose? Okay, let's get this thing warmed up. Hey, Paul Norman. Yes, the cat's numerous and numerous. Very numerous. Certainly we're having moments where we're thinking, what have we done? It is what it is, and we're just going to have to work with it. But it does feel like we're very much on the back foot at the moment with regards to taking care of them, or managing them. It's easier if you're already set up for that number of children, cats, whatever. But when you basically have less than 6 months to catch up to what you need, basically more than doubling the size of what we did have, it's quite difficult. And yeah, there's a lot of knock-on effects and things like that. So, there are some difficult days. We're working towards it, but you certainly sometimes just want to, throw the towel in. Hey, Eminem. We'll have to use this stencil later. This is a CD3217 stencil. I've got another board that I'm having dramas with. It came in, it had a blown line protection diode, which was not a good sign. And unfortunately, I do suspect it's probably taken out a few other things in the system, so it may not actually be repairable, but we will give it a shot. I've already replaced one of the 3217s twice, but it still hasn't come good. The behavior changed slightly, but it still hasn't come good. Let's see. I just need to get my iPad separation tools, which are right there. Every 10 seconds. If it takes you more than, if you need more than that, let me sort that out. I don't know if I can change it post modification. Let's see if that turns off. Let me know if slow mode's still on. It's off. Yep, there you go. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can get this separated cleanly. We do try to keep the temperature down to about in the 60s. You can go higher, but at least while it's in the 60s, you can sort of leave it there indefinitely. Whereas if you go higher, you really have to sort it out ASAP. It's actually kind of weird opening up one that doesn't have screen damage, because you're half expecting the blade to catch on broken glass and things like that, but there's nothing to catch on. It's just all smooth sailing, in theory. So we're just going to put some chocks in there. The chocks just stop the screen from bonding back onto the frame. There we go, corner chock in. Hey, Dipthum. I did a little earlier for you, Dipthum. You should be thankful. Oh, my knuckles are getting burned because of that. Might just attack this side here, so when I loosen this, I can then use the hot air to deal with this side. It's kind of a little easier that way. The downside of attacking the top side is that there is a tremendous amount of glue involved up here. I'm sure people can do this a lot more efficiently than I can. I mean, I don't do that many iPads, maybe 2 a week. It's not It's not a mainstay item for me. I mean, conversely, say like an iPhone 11 or iPhones in general, I'll do 2 a day on most days. Okay, just gonna watch out. There's ambient light sensors in this area. They're fairly robust, but at the same time, you don't want to needlessly go messing with them. Okay. Might just cut that. And then we can just slice our way down from above. Okay, need some heat. And this time we'll make sure it's not 470 like the last time. A3X, a Mark II. The tricky bit around the home button is, you don't want to tear that flex. I mean, I've done it once or twice, and I got lucky on both instances. I was able to repair the tear, as in I was able to actually reconnect some of the traces, because the tear didn't go all the way through, but that was very lucky. Normally, if you tear those things, it's pretty much game over. You have to deal with telling the client that they're not gonna get their Touch ID back. And Touch ID is one of those things where people don't realize that they actually rely on it a lot until after. Because they might say to you, oh, that's okay, I never used it, But they actually did, and they didn't know. Oh man, that thing's separating too. Yeah, this is turning into a lot more entertainment than I anticipated. Yeah, Mark, I actually I kept that one, but I did replace the display for the customer. It ended up being a very minor blemish. It was only on a white screen right up the top. If you knew where to look, you would see it. But that was enough for me to not accept it as it had to be replaced. It'd be piss poor ethics to do otherwise. Hello, Vladimir. Why are you doing that for? To be fair, a lot of people, their daily thing is piss poor ethics, and they make it fairly profitable too. It's just not something I can do to myself, unfortunately. I say unfortunately purely from a financial perspective. Alrighty. Yeah, we made a hell of a mess. Alright, screws out time. Why is it when I want the large Phillips driver, I can't find the Phillips driver? When I want the small Phillips driver, I can find the large Phillips driver. Yeah, same, not 100% sure yet, but suspecting a logic board short. So DJ Craze went to an auction because they had an iMac up for bid. Got there, looked it up. It was 2012. Yeah. Went for 275. Is that US dollars or Australian? Either way, it's a little bit expensive for what it is. $2012s. They're sort of getting to the point where people are trying to give them away now. US dollars. Whoa. I'm actually quite surprised that it went for that much. Particularly like on eBay USA, you'd probably see them go for 150 on a good day. Oh well. Yeah, this is the part that I hate. Getting the display out without destroying the display. Where's my Reaper? Basically, I'm just using the Reaper to try and break that kind of rubber plastic seal or whatever the hell it is that is down in here. There we go. I know some people just grab it and lift it up and hope for the best. It's not something I'm quite willing to do. When you see the replacement costs of these display panels, you can sort of respect that a little more. I mean, they are surprisingly quite flexible. Still no reason to be abusive. Okay. Panel off. Into the oven. The reason why it goes in the oven is just sort of like a closed environment that shouldn't get too much dust. Right. Yeah, last I checked, they were about 140, I think it was. Australian. Either way, still do not want to replace one. Not if I can help it. I already did one the other day, and that wasn't even one of these ones. I've just got to heat the glue up a little bit because the glue is still fully bonded, in full contact with the length of the frame. So I can't exactly just rip it off. Okay, they can also go into the oven. Yeah, Stephen, I don't really enjoy doing them, but yeah, sometimes you got to do them. I do the display, the glass replacements, but yeah, this one in particular is going to be interesting. Okay, we'll get that screw out. Mind you, at this point it's probably completely flattened everything. And that screw, of course, is slightly different to everything else. And I should have my specialist separator tool. There we go, it just slips in under there. And with that done, we can now commence the next agonizing process, which is getting that shield off. Now, sometimes these shields just pop off. Sometimes it's a fight. Looks like it's a fight. Time to go microscope. Hey, B-blood. Well, that's a little up close and personal. There we go. So with these, I find I usually got to just sort of leave it. There's probably an easy way. Let me know if you think of know of an easier way of getting these undone. Here we go. And then carefully use the flat to slide up the rest. Now, I'm hoping that we will actually just be able to spot the shorted component. Probably won't, but you know, it's fingers crossed we might see a cap that decided it couldn't take it anymore. Otherwise, we have to go thermal camera. I have in the past had a couple around here tend to die, but agreeably it's not on this model, so they'll probably change things around, but that's usually still the area that I've got an interest in. We'll have a look at this at an angle. Mark II. It's just, I always worry about doing it that way because you only got to slip with that flicking. You're getting the tweezer in there, and you know you're going to cop some damage somewhere. And the worst thing is half the time you don't even know where you did the damage. You just know that for a split second those tweezers went flying in places they shouldn't. Like I said, I'm always happy to hear from someone with a more experience or, you know, just simply has found a new and exciting way. Because there's been plenty of times where you just keep plugging away at some old technique and then someone goes, why don't you do it this way? And you're like, oh my goodness, you know, that makes life so much easier. Yeah, not really spotting anything here. Lately I've been running into a bunch of caps that have this tendency to crack and die on their underside, as in on the section where the board header is. Sorry, the circuit board is. I'll just take that out. Put that screw back in and hit it with the charger. Let's see if we get the same activity. Yes, okay. Hopefully this thing will light up clearly on the good old gym cam. And hopefully I've got enough battery power left in the gym cam. He's not able to get Paul to do the work anymore nowadays. Paul's probably very thankful for that. Although, to be honest, Paul now has to deal with all the other aspects of business that he didn't have to deal with before. But I'm sure he'll be fine. Okay. Alright, here we go. Plugged in. You straight up into here. And there, 2 places. One looks like a controller chip and the other looks like shit. This isn't going to be any fun. I can tell you that right now. Although that could be a cap up there that's shorted and it's just this here that's suffering. So I'm going to go with the fact that the cap is the short and the controller is just suffering. At least I hope that's what that's what's happening. Because I will not have spare parts for this particular board. So up here, what are you? And I have no idea what that part is. That's CS42L83A. Cirrus Logic something. So it was in this area that we had the heat. Now I cannot freeze spray it as fat as... Well, I can, but look, I'll be honest, it's probably... Oh, wait, actually I can see a vent. Now that I look, I can see something blew up here. I don't know if you can see it. But if you look at the base of the chip, you can see the venting marks. See just there? It's gone... Pfft. I think on screen it just shows as a slightly golden trace, but yeah, just there. So I would hazard to say that it's probably chewed up part of the circuitry. Yeah, this is going to be fun. The circuit board, I should say. And I would say that is causing a short, which is causing that to then suffer. Can it be removed? Yes, it is a BGA chip. Now the question I've got to work out is, can I remove it in situ? I do not want to remove it out of the chassis. if you've got to take them out of the chassis, it just adds so much more drama. If I tackle it from this angle, I should be able to do it. And the hot air, if I put my big sharpening block over that, like if I do this, conveniently held in by the magnets, funnily enough. The only downside is, by doing this, we're actually probably going to upset the magnets, as in it may make them weaker. We're just going to have to hope that the thermal tolerant, yeah, this is going to be fun. It's going to need that sort of thing there. But definitely I'm going to have to take that chip off. This is kind of working into Jason Vilma territory here. So much so, I think I'm going to have to drop down to a 6mm nozzle. Everybody knows how much I hate the 6mm. Twang! It's got the stupid helical insert on it too. Yeah, when I say soften the magnets, I mean reduce the Gauss of the magnet, i.e., yes, it's going to demagnetize it in effect. I don't even know what. Oh, jeez. Let's go 350, 40, 350 and 35 air. We're going to try that. We just have to suck it and see. Ah, phooey. Sorry, my battery disconnection thingy just popped off. Okay, it's better. Okay, it's a little bit too much air. I'm going to go 20. And we're going to pick up tweezers that don't look like my fingers after being in a fight. Okay. And we're going to put on the extractor. Taking a bit long there. I wonder if it was the cap that actually popped. Yeah, because that actually didn't look damaged. Is now. Unless that was it there. Yeah, actually no. That's damage there, and that's not from me. Hey Christy, I ended up at, what did I end up with? I think I was up 360 and 27 on the Atten. Yeah, 360. But yeah, this here is charcoal. The easiest way for us to determine that is to just measure across that cap and see if it's shorted. Thankfully this one's not underfilled. Yeah, okay, we don't have a short there, so it was indeed the chip. Now, of course, the big problem we've got is we don't know what that chip is, let alone, you know, we're going to have to dig around and see if we can find what it is and what replacements we can get. As in, you know, can it be taken from an iPhone? So CS42L83. Was it 83, was it? 83A. Oh, we got some hits. Oh wow, this looks like a moderately generic chip. So the 239 has it. I've got the buggy version of my software on here. God damn it. Can't even load my own good software on. What was it? See, God, I'm hopeless. 42L83. The non-buggy software loads this up straight away. Okay, audio jack codec, yeah. And that is located where? Okay, looks like we're on a win. I do wonder whether we should test it before I put the new one on, just to see that it has removed the short. Oh yeah, I can see the chip right there. Now, the really stupid thing I got to ask is, did anyone take note of which orientation I had? I can just go back in the video and have a look actually. Gonna need a little more punch coming off a MacBook board. Derek Chan, you suspect it has firmware in it. It's not something I've ever encountered with this chip, with this sort of thing. Especially given that it's on so many older boards. I mean, I'm willing to accept you are correct. Hey, Defcom, bottom left. Alright. This thing's got some issues with its ball sizes, and in all honesty, that actually looks a bit iffy. I don't like the look of that chip. There's a lot of sort of rusty gold color under there, which means it's been subjected to liquid damage. So we're going to pass on that one, get another one. At least this thing's mostly like a TriStar in terms of, you know, ballage. This one's also got that a bit. Alright. Well, we'll clean it up and see what happens. Ah! Alright. Okay, it's in a good enough state that I can reball it now. Once I get the stencil out. We just got to find something that matches close enough. We'll take that. It's good for me. I should have some paste from today still sitting on top of the, what do you call it, the spudger. I mean, extra dry, so it'll be extra good. Yeah, that looks juicy. And for this I usually go 250 and 20 at the most. Sometimes 15. Actually, this is a pretty small chip, so yeah, 15. Oh yeah, damn it, I'm using my 6mm nozzle here, so I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. because the numbers I use are meant for the 9mm nozzle. It's okay, we should still be able to make it work at 6. Fortunately, it's a small stencil, so it doesn't get quite as upset. But it is struggling a bit. Oh, bang, bang, bang. Yeah, I'm going to need some more punch here. Hey there, Carrot Dog. Those top 3 on the right haven't quite settled in properly, so it's going to require a little bit of extra rework. Get that stencil back into the alcohol bath so it doesn't dry out and become a little crusty like me. And I've got to fix those tweezers. Alright, give it another hit of hot air. Give a chance for everything to come together. That's good. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to clean up the board too. So many things you got to do. And I'm not going to be able to clean it the way I normally do, I think. It's just a little bit too tight and dense, so no hot air wicking on this one. This is going to have to just be a blob of solder, and hopefully I get them flat enough. We'll use the big iron. Hey there, Mr. Nash. And Jim Allen, yes, you caught one. And at least this one you won't have to put up with it being dodgy. Definitely vastly less than perfect. I may have to redo that. It's particularly bad. Oh man, just throw those two pieces away. That might actually work. Once I get all the hairs out. Alright, so now the question is, what was the orientation? You know what, I'm just going to check my own video. I know you guys have tried to help, but the only way I can sort of trust it is to check it myself. Okay, so the arrow was up towards the NAND. Alright. So it was in this orientation. It reminds me of why I'm glad I'm not an iPhone technician as a general rule. Oh, Caradog, that's a good start. It's a good start. Useless, but a good start. We can go from there. Now we get the how much do you fiddle with it before you stop playing with it? Oops. Now there should be enough flux on the underside of that chip. Should be. Famous words, eh? Alrighty, now we've got leaded solder, so we should be able to drop a little bit lower. And less air. Alright, a few people would have panicked there, but I certainly did. If you're wondering why I kept the heat on even though it had pulled itself into place, it's because I was waiting for the little bead of flux to appear around the perimeter of the chip, which lets me know, based on how even that perimeter is, whether it's sitting flat or not. Okay, and if you don't do that, then you could have the chip has pulled itself into the correct overall position, but it could be just one corner that has reflowed and attached, and the others could be still up in the air. Then you add the jam and cream. Absolutely. Good old scones, jam and cream. Let's see, I'm after my screw. Okay, so at this point, if all has gone well, when we plug in the charger, we should see a change in the current rate. instead of just being that flat 2.5 whatever amps it was, it probably should sort of ramp up more than anything else. Okay, let's see how we go. Nope, straight to... Did I just see a flash then? I think I just saw a flash. Nothing there. So that basically brings us back to this chip, which is not going to be great. Just reviewing my own footage. No, okay, I don't see a flash. No. Okay, that's Micro's insulin. No, it's not a TPS 62180, I'm afraid. I wish it was, but it's not. It's something else entirely. It's a Texas Instruments 19C21R, whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think it was just my brain thinking it was a flash. We'll check the thermal cam and then I'll go sort Micro out. I do wish it was the 62180, believe me. That would make life substantially easier, particularly considering we were lucky enough with this chip itself. Let's see. No, I didn't check to see if they were shorted. That was my own definite dumb fault. And I just realised I've... Okay, is it still... Okay, power on. Okay, we do have a change of behavior here that this section here is no longer heating up. So we now just have this one here, which is definitely heating up. Damn it. Question is why. And it's quite possible that there is a short over here, so we'll have to go back over to this area, check the caps, and see if there's a short. That was a bit of a silly oversight on my... It's interesting, when we take the... When we disconnect the charger, it actually looks like it's starting to do boot sequences. I wonder, is it actually charging? Is it actually behaving normally? And I've... No, it's losing heat, surely. Plug the screen and have a look. we'll just plug the screen. No actual what do you call it? Touch display. Yeah, we got a battery display. Oh shit! No, I'm gonna. Yeah, we got a battery symbol now. Didn't have that before. So I think it is actually fixed. Yeah, you can't really see that, but there's a battery symbol showing there. Alright, I'm going to go deal with micro. And I'm going to put a cover over this. But you'll probably see it glow if it does work. I'll even turn off the studio lights. Did we have wind? Did anything show up? Yeah, still charging. Or rather, still showing the charge symbol, but I don't know. How long we're... It's a little bit concerning because it's sort of like dead set stuck at that 2.2 amps. Although I suppose it doesn't switch over to the 9 volt higher current mode until it is at a point where it's sufficiently charged. And I'm fairly sure when I tested it before I disassembled it, it wasn't showing anything. And I think the current rate was 2.3 or something before, whereas now it's 2, which is good. I just would have expected by now. To be fair, iPad batteries are fairly hefty, so it can... Goddamn asshole, what a fuckwit. That guy goes past 4 or 5 times a day easily, and every corner he goes around, he's got to floor it to get to the next one. And he's got no exhaust on that thing, at least, you know, no muffling, I should rather say. And it wouldn't be so bad if he didn't just floor it around every damn corner. Yeah, if he just casually went back and forth, you know, you'd be able to hear the unmuffled type note to it, but it wouldn't be enough for you to sort of go, I hate your guts, I want to see you die, that kind of thing. Instead it'd be just like, oh yeah, you know, he's got a straight through exhaust. It's obviously not straight through, but yeah, he's got a free-flowing exhaust. Current drop by 300, yeah. Jim, I need a vaporizing ray. Is that the Land Cruiser? There's actually many Land Cruisers. Oh, hey, Azar. Azar is a good friend. We're just waiting for this to charge up, Azar. Azar, this one is the short tray. He's got a dog cage on it, black body, black rims, oversized wheels. I'm not sure whether it's a Land Cruiser or a Patrol. Pretty sure it's a Land Cruiser. But I mean, there's a whole bunch of them that go up this road. Most of them are cruisers, some of them are Patrols. It was 2.3 before I walked away. Okay, that's good. That means it's coming. Oh yeah, we're down at 1.93. So that's good. We're actually achieving what we need here. It's just going to take a while. Maybe I'll just put it aside while I then look at the next job, which is a previous job that I need to do another 3217 on. Yeah, it's still the battery symbol. Okay, the downside of this, of course... Oh, here we go. There we go. So we are alive. It's fixed. It's now just a case of we've got to let it charge and... Fantastic. Fixed. Good thing we didn't go chasing that other... what we thought was the fault. Yeah, the second chip. So yeah, 1%. It's nice to see. Alrighty, let's get the other board that needs a second 3217 put onto it. And I don't even know if this is going to fix it or not. This is a 2016 board. A20 2016. You sold that bike yet, Azar? I would have been tempted to have that bike for around town. Right, so we've replaced this one twice now, and we're just going to put a second one on there. I really don't know if it's actually the cause of the fault. It's given me what would otherwise normally be known as a S2 type short, but yeah, it's got cycling at 200 milliamps. But all the S2 rails are clear at the moment, so all I can think of is maybe it's the 3217, mostly because the diode here, this middle diode, it was blown, which is actually related to this chip. So I replaced that chip and I didn't really get any improvement. So I'm going to go with this one because stupid things happen. You did. You went like, yeah, I'm not surprised it went like a hotcake. You did a really nice job on that bike, fixing it up. And the price was excellent. I wouldn't have been able to have it, but I would have liked to have had it. Oh, crap. Okay, we got to go back to our 9mm nozzle. Oh, come on. God. Honestly, Anton, quick, all of you bastards. Can you please go back to the screw-on nozzles? Because these clip-on ones are just stupid. Hey, Farphone. Come on. Come on. Oh, now I know why it's not up to temperature. I just realised I haven't converted it to leaded yet. Evening, Victor Young. How are things over in your side of the world? Are you still teaching? Yeah, I know, there's a big blob there. Not worried about it. Alright, that looks flat. And out of focus. Geckos agree. We just put the flux there to stop the pads oxidizing while I do the next step. Okay, so this is a 2020 board, but it has the same chips. And the most important thing here is that they're a matched pair. So, assuming they aren't faulty, we can at least rule out the CD3217s. I genuinely thought it was just going to be the diode and the 3217. Given that the rail doesn't go anywhere else, it just goes into the 3217. So I'm a little bit concerned if this doesn't fix it, then it's going to be a tough one to fix if it's fixable. Because if it has gone out beyond the CD3217, I don't know by which route it went. Hey, Godfrey Allen. 5 and not special wick. This is just what is it? Tech spray. 1823. 1823 is the code. Size 4. The 100F just means it's a 33 odd meter length roll. It was actually an accident. I wasn't meant to order the 33 meter roll. Normally I order the 10 meter roll, but that's okay. It just means I've got enough wick to last me for a very long time now. Just trying to get those two pads to take some solder. Okay, looks good. People, I'm not a great fan of the choice of arrangement for the pins. So was it really necessary? I'm sure they think so. And maybe it is. I just don't like it. I do prefer the square grid arrangement. On the upside, because they are like this, it does mean that it's very... you sort of have an implied orientation. So they don't need to drop a pin or mark it, especially, even though they do. Because it's already implied what its orientation is. And let's see... turn it 180. That should do it. Hey there, Harold. How's it going over there? I see you put out a special email. I have got your USB-C testers, by the way. I did get them the other day. Forgot to email you. How unusual you're thinking. I never do anything that's... I never do anything on time, do I, Harold? Well, at least with this one, we now have the proper nozzle back on. You need some sales? Everybody should be getting the USB chipmunks and other things. Did you have any uptick when Graham from Adam and IT promoted it? Because at least he's actually got subscribers, unlike me. I gotta say, the quality of the USB-C chipmunk is just unbelievably good. The soldering and everything like that. I was looking at it and it's like, that is better than most of the factories you see. Do you ultrasonic clean them after you make them? Okay, that's good that Graham managed to pick you up some sales. Glad to hear that. See, now that's a worthy investment. Sending me stuff isn't. I'll give you technical feedback, but I don't get you much in the way of sales. Other than certifying reputation, that's about it. Nice thing about these boards is they always have the same orientation of the pin 1. So even though you can't see it, I know that's pin 1 there. The writing's also upside down, so it's All good. Now, I have actually got too much flux on this one, so I'm a little bit worried about it skittering out of the way before it's meant to. See how we go. So I'm sort of keeping the heat far back. Well, it's not the heat that I'm trying to keep, it's just the airflow. It's about to grab and run, but I don't know which direction it's going to run. There it goes. Your CCA 30k for you. What? What is CCA? Stop using fancy terms that I don't understand. Why is that sitting funny? Yeah, that's sitting funny. Look at that. See how it's squished down that side and lifted up on that side. Knew that wasn't. Don't know why that did that. I must have got an impurity on there. That's very strange. Very strange. Was it because of the air? No, the air was only at 30 or so. Okay, well, we'll just heat it again. See if we can get it to sit down. I knew it sort of seemed weird. It's like there's an obstruction or something got underneath it. I think my airflow was, I think my heat was too low overall. Yeah, I don't think it was an obstruction. I think it just didn't get a chance to sit down properly until I reflowed it again. That's all that was. Yeah. I think basically I know what happened. You know how I mentioned there was too much flux. So what went wrong there was that the flux flowed out and performed the beading around the chip, which tricked me into thinking that the chip had actually settled in, but it hadn't. It was just simply there was just too much flux, and so the flux was just pooling out everywhere effectively. So yeah, that's why that happened. Too much flux, and it tricked me. At least we didn't have to reball it. It was just a case of it was already fixed in a good position. It just needed to finish the process. Oh, there it is. Running around looking at this. Why is it darker now? No wonder it's dark. I switched off the... There we go. I almost fluxed it up. Most certainly did. So in all honesty, I'm expecting nothing to change here. I'm expecting it to actually just keep resetting. Doing a 5 volt, 200 milliamp reset, 5 volt, 200 milliamp reset. Which, like I said, usually is a sign that there's an issue with the S2 rails, the 3v3 or 1v25. But in this case, it doesn't seem to be that situation, which is very annoying. Let's see. Likewise, it's very annoying that I'm trying to find my USB-C cable, the one that's... Ah, there you are. I'm at the point where I now need to have multiple USB-C meters. Trimmed a layer? No, the beard hasn't been trimmed in a while now. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I saw a 300 milliamp spike there at the start. 200, 100. Come on, you're gonna reset. Yeah, son of a... Try the other one. Yeah, same crap. So I said that, I don't know. Let's go hunting shorts. But I have a feeling that something critical has been shot through on this one. Three V8 always on is okay. So for whatever reason, it's failing on the transition, I think, to 20 volts. So, you know, it might be a MOSFET issue. Or at least it feels like that's when it's failing. I'm going to guess that's because I'm touching the other cap. Yep. No, so I mean, that one's fine. Okay, that's just energy in the circuit. Backlight. Fine. The Wi-Fi caps can sometimes be problematic. That's all fine. Let's see if we can get anything on the PMIC. We'll do some comparisons of the diode mode values there. So what are we after? 1.6. No, yeah, 1.2 is fine. That's actually really low. 0.056 is what I was expecting, but we are actually a magnitude below that. What's this rail here? DRAM. Yay, straight into the CPU. Flippin' heck. Let's go get another board and make a comparison, just in case. It's easy to mismatch these new boards. Yeah, just because they're just so new. Looks like I've got one that's missing the parts, but I'd be curious to see how it compares anyway. Yeah, so look at that. That's 0.05. So that is about what we're expecting compared to this one, which is profoundly less. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, okay, 0.086. Yeah, that's just too low. 227. That's correct, yeah. So yeah, these two middle ones here. So at this point, the question is it the PMIC or is it the chip? Yeah, the board without parts, I would expect it to have a higher reading, but like I said, we're a magnitude out. I've got another one here, actually. Here we go. This is an Apple ID lock one, so the board itself functions. It's just can't use it because it's Apple ID locked. But that's fine. I actually don't mind the Apple ID lock units because it does mean I can get my hands on a cheaper board for the purpose of doing diagnostic measurements, which we need. Okay, never popped that one before, so this is all fresh parts. And I have a feeling it's going to be probably in agreement of the 0.56 area. It's actually lower than I expected, but it's still higher. Well, that's 0.14. 0.014. It's definitely still higher than 0.056. What was this one reading again? Yeah. It's 0.009, and that's really getting quite low there. Now, it's not to say it genuinely is at fault, but and I gotta be honest, I really don't want to take that chip off. Oh, 0.89. So it's still 50%. This one's still 50% better than the other one. Super moon out there. We will table that as an interesting value. Not 100% sure yet. I'll measure the resistance itself in a second. Can I pull the inductors? Yes, I can, and that was the strategy that was about to be undertaken. Is it due to the number? Well, in these ones, they've only actually got the 2 sitting on top of the CPU assembly, although obviously how much they put in there will vary. Yeah, whether it's 16 gig or 32 gig type installations of the. Although with these, don't they have 18 or 16s? I can't remember with the M1s, these ones in particular. So yeah, there would be a variation on that aspect. Okay, so I'm gonna just look a little more, see if I can't spot something else. As I said, the thing that bothers me is the fact that the key issue was, well, the only visible defect was the blowing up of that diode there. I wonder if I would consider maybe there could be another one blown, but the trouble is they are on separate rails for the different CD3215s. So if you did take one out, the other one should still run. Is that a hole in that chip, or is that just a casting defect? I do wonder at times whether these are holes or defects. We're already at full brightness. It just looks like a random speck of crap. It doesn't actually look like a hole when you're close up. Alright, let's keep measuring other diode mode values. Hey, Rilla. Not a lot else connected to that diode. That's the problem. So this is it here. So you essentially have that there and the connector, and that's it. So that's why it bothers me that if that's blown, then which path did it take through the CD3217? Where did it go? Firephone, we have a lot. That's all I'm going to say. We have a lot. They're not all ours per se, but they are under our care. And it is a lot of care. Let me put it this way. You're going to need more than a baker's dozen, okay? You got to keep going up higher. 3, 3, 3, 1. It's close enough. 3, 7, 9. Yep, crazy cat lady be about me. Yeah, look, there's someone trying to be Mr. Beast. How many people think that you're actually Mr. Beast and get all excited and think that they're going to get themselves $1 million? Tell you what, could certainly do with it. Would help get us another property so that we can actually look after these animals. Get to okay, we've got a big. Okay, we've definitely got a big defect here. This one here, that's 0.07, and it's supposed to be 243, but I'm going to go verify that on that other board, which naturally I've frickin' well put the heatsink back on. Why would I do that to myself? There's probably another test point I can use though. Is there? No, there is not. Oh, maybe for the others. Yeah, actually there's a couple of others I can use on the back side. Over here. Hey, Mr. Tabur. Welcome. Let's see. Bottom of that gang of mini. Or the test point itself, maybe. Yes, that's a 0.12. So it's still half compared to what we're expecting. When you compare 0.12 to 0.08, that's again about a 50% difference. So what's going on here? What was the original board I was testing? Jeez. Was it like a 4 gig minimalist board or something? That's still a pretty low reading. Yeah, so I'd love to know where the 243 came from. Like I said, once again, this one, again, is much lower. But maybe it's, yeah, maybe it's a 32 gig board. I don't know. Let's get back to testing. Just keep trying more test points until we find one that is unquestionable. Another 0.08 on the 243. So it seems to be a bit of a thing. 0.01. That's funnily enough higher than the measured value. Yeah, they're all the same. CFR fan, thanks as always for dropping in. Yeah, Miles, I actually do that. If you look at the boards like the 820165s, there is open board data has a configuration section, and you can state what they are, what it's for. Yeah, if you look at the 165 data, particularly for the CPU coil phases, you can see it there. Oh, that one's actually substantially higher than what that's listed. This is a 282, but it's coming up at 59. 57. These are all about double what? Okay, 0.06. Alright, this is really low. 0.06. So once again, we're going to compare. It's probably just going to be another same as before. And yeah, this is slow and boring, but it's the way it goes. Yeah, 0.07, so this is interesting. All the data seems to be out of whack. That coil does give me pause for thought, but I tested it and it seems to be okay, but I mean, I could replace it. I don't think it's actually physically defective or anything. It's just, you know, got a bit of a manufacturing mark on it. So I think this, what's our time at the moment? 11 o'clock. I need to pack it up. And I will just have to keep digging over this tomorrow. And hopefully I can come up with an answer, because it's getting a bit late now. There is a weird dimple here on the current sense resistor, but I have seen that before in other places, and it doesn't end up actually being a defective resistor. It's just a damn dimple. Hello, Hector. That was very nice of you to do so. Thank you, good sir. Yeah, we're getting late, and we're getting tired, and we're going to do dumb stuff. So, best we save the dumb stuff for tomorrow. But on the upside, we did have a success with the iPad, and I'm happy about that. Particularly because we could have easily been misled by that extra bright spot that was on the other chip, but it was not that. It was the little bright spot off in the corner distance. So, you know, we did good there. We should pat ourselves on the back for that one. We didn't screw up too much. Alright, I'm out of here. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Until then, take care. I'll see you later.